and of course, and I started here at the BBC when I was 65. So I started a completely new phase of my life when a lot of people are retiring. Why am I telling you this? Because Barbara Lewis is with me now. Barbara's from Radcliffe, been a hairdresser for 50 years, and is about to launch a career in modelling at the age of 64. She's 65 in September. Barbara, thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
Now, it's not straightforward because, right, you decided that you wanted to have cosmetic surgery.
Yes.
To give you an appearance that you felt then would be right to carry out to do your modelling career.
Well, what happened is I had my lower face done actually 12 years ago because I was at had a wedding and had some photographs, and I thought, your neck's looking a bit scraggy, girl, you know. So I thought we'll go for it. And then I've had a lot of abdominal surgery through. I had 6 inches of my bowel removed 6 years ago. I had appendicitis, cesarean, and my tummy was really bad. And no matter how much I dieted or exercised, it wouldn't go away. So I decided I'd embark on
liposuction.
A tummy tuck.
Oh, a tummy tuck.
A tummy tuck.
So what's the difference between that and liposuction?
Well, liposuction, I think, is when they take out the fat. Mine needed a bit more than that, and the results were absolutely amazing. Even the doctor said he couldn't believe it in a week how well I'd healed.
So you got like a flat tummy now.
Flat tummy.
Okay. So is that all the procedures you've had done?
No. After that, I had my bingo wings done, and
how did they do that?
Well, they cut here. There are scars there, but after a while they fade. Depends who does it. They've got to be
Barbara
good.
just put her, it's radio, but she put her arms in the air. Then, but I'm sure you can visualise exactly. But go on.
Yeah, and yeah, I wear tops now that I wouldn't be able to wear. And then 3 years ago, I had my top lids done.
See, you do look lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I know my wife says I am shallow Hal. Thanks, Viv. But I mean, you actually do look smashing, and you don't look as if you've had any work done.
That's the thing.
If that makes any sense whatsoever.
It makes absolute sense because Mr. Gary Ross, who did all this surgery at the Alexander, what's unique about him is he makes you look good. He doesn't make you look like you've gone under the knife.
What do your family and friends think?
Right, Mix, my son is supportive all the way. My partner Darryl, he's very supportive. My son said, "Mum, you look gorgeous anyway. You don't need to do that." But hey ho. My friends say, "Good for you." Some people don't agree with it.
Right, well, I mean, again, in a way, that's subjective from their perspective, but it's your life in a way.
Yes.
Most of us would look in a mirror. I mean, I'm lucky because I've always looked a little bit rough. So I've never been really good looking. And as I've got older, I don't look massively different because I've always had a broken nose. And do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So in a way, that's aided me.
Yes.
But if I looked in the mirror one day and I thought, oh, Mike, if I had the money, I've not got the money at the moment, but if I had the money, I would have something done. However, for every one of me and you, there will be individual listening to this now said, "Oh no, what made you look and think I've got to have that done?" Where somebody else would just think, "Oh crikey, I do look horrible." Why did you think I'll do something about it? There's a difference.
Yes, there is a difference. There is a difference. Because being a hairdresser, you're in, people come in your salon, they're looking at you, weighing you up and down, you put weight on, you've lost weight, or, all the rest of it. And I've always looked after myself, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
You've been a hairdresser 50 years.
50 years in September.
But you're now going to be a model.
Well, model, stroke, catalogue stuff, stroke adverts, anything like that. I've been involved, an agency's been in contact with me, 2 agencies actually. So we're at the stage now where auditions are coming up. Very nervous, but very excited. I'm way out of my comfort zone.
Right, very quickly, the charity, the Samaritans.
Yes, I do.
Here's something that's come up today. They want to harness the power, the listening power of hairdressers and barbers to help reduce mental health problems, because they reckon that hairdressers and barbers are unique in a way, in as much as they get told stuff that a therapist might not tell them.
Absolutely.
What's your take on that?
Absolutely. It's a very privileged position to be a hairdresser, believe you me. I've had clients with me now for 40 odd years. They're more like friends now. You go through all the trials and tribulations of their life, and they like you say, they tell you things they wouldn't tell another living soul. And you've got to be confidential about it. You know, you've got to...
Yeah, you can't pass that on, can you?
But it's such a privilege and an honour to be in that position, and I don't think there's any other job where you've got that. And they, you know, you in a way, you counsel people and you help them and you give them advice and stuff like that. Like, you know, I can give advice, but you do the best you can to make them feel good.
In that time, do you ever feel that you're given a piece of advice that's really helped someone, where you actually know that what you did was the right thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, without giving any names, give us an indicator. What do you mean?
One of my clients had a growth on her face, and she said, oh, it's because I'm getting old. And, you know, I said, no, I think you should go to the doctor with that. It looks a bit serious. Well, what do you mean? No, I just go to the doctor. And she went, and it was cancer, and she had it taken off, and she was fine. And I think I did that because if she hadn't have done, what would have happened? I
had a friend once, I've only done it, I think, once in my life, with relationship issues, and said, what would you do? And I said, well, I'd rather not give you an opinion. And then he asked me again, a bit, you know, a few days later. I said, look, I'll tell you exactly, just life experience. You've got to remember, I've been around a long while. I said, I think it's going to, it'll end. And you can either do that in a positive, constructive manner, or it'll just all disintegrate. He said, well, if it ends, I don't know what I'll do. I said, well, life goes on. You know. Yeah. Anyway, it did end. I think the fact that he'd had that conversation with me anyway helped, but however, he's met somebody, he said to me the other week, he said, I can't believe how happy I am. Oh. And so, because I said to him, you'd be surprised, you know, most of the time there's always something at the end of the rainbow, do you know what I mean?
Yes, there is, definitely.
So what's your confidence like now? How do you feel?
A bit mixed. Well out of my comfort zone. I went down for a portfolio of photographs taken in London on Regent Street. I had to go out in the middle of the street with people walking about. I thought, oh my God, what is going on here? You know, I was mortified. But after a while, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed them doing my hair, my makeup. And when they offered me and said, you know, you can do mature modelling. That's the point, mature modelling. I'm not 16. You should go for it. We think you'll do really well. So from there, it's just snowballed.
What's your thoughts for the future? No, I've got to ask you this question.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a bit intrusive, but if I don't ask, people say to me, why don't you ask? Is that it for procedures, or what do you think? I
am not ruling anything else out.
Yeah.
I had a lower facelift. I might have something else, just a little bit here. I don't know. I'm not ruling it out. No.
How did you feel after the surgery? Because it's major surgery. You know, when you have some work done, it's major surgery.
I know. Do you know? For each procedure I wasn't nervous. I had complete confidence in this man. He talks you through it. He explains it. He tells you will have a scar. You won't. You know, this will be this and this will be that. And every procedure was amazing. I was in no pain whatsoever.
It's interesting for me because as I'm getting older, my generation, of which you're part, the baby boomers, are all of us that were born between 1945 and 1955. So, you know, it encompasses a lot of people, that. And the barriers are being pushed all the time by our generation. I still play football. I'm 17 September. The Rolling Stones are still probably the most successful rock and roll band in the world when it comes to going out on tour and making money.
Absolutely.
So, you know, goodness knows where it'll end.
We've got so much to offer. We've got experience of life. We've been there and done it. We wore the first miniskirts and the hot pants.
Well, I didn't, obviously.
Well, you didn't, but...
I stopped doing that now.
You'd have been a sensation if you did. But you know what I mean? We were there the first time round.
Barbara Lewis, it's been great having you in, and all the best. And if you start getting jobs and stuff and you do anything, I'd like to get back and just tell us maybe in a few months, let us know how you're going on with your career, okay?
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for coming in. Cheers.